Hello, this video is going to be about converting data type using TryParse. The first thing I'm going to do is create a project, a console application, TryParse tests. So suppose you have a string and your string is something like 1, 2, 3 and you want to convert that to integer. So I'm going to declare int and my integer is going to be x. It's a good programming practice to initialize here, but I'm not going to initialize here, and I'm going to explain why later, okay? But it's a good programming practice to initialize this all the time. So this is a string and I want to convert that to integer. So to do that, I'm going to use what's called a TryParse. So int dot TryParse, and if you notice right here on the help, the first thing you want is a string, and I'm going to put my string, and then out to x. What it says here is you're going to try to convert a string and whatever output is going to be on x. And now if I print x, so if I run this program, I have 1, 2, 3. That's nice. Now notice that if this variable is ABC, now obviously we cannot convert ABC to an integer, and because of that the output of x is going to be different. It's going to be 0. Let's try this. So now I get output of 0. Well, that's good. The program tried to convert ABC into x, it did not, so it placed 0 on x. But now we have a problem. What if you try to convert 0? You run this, it converts to 0. But if you try to convert ABC, it also converts to 0. So for that, TryParse actually returns a boolean. So let's declare a boolean here. So boolean is converted, and I'm gonna put false for now. And this method returns a boolean, and the boolean that returns, it returns true if the conversion was successful and false otherwise. So now if I try to save whatever this method returns into a boolean, if this boolean was true, then we know the conversion was successful. If this boolean was false, then we know it failed. Now how do we check that? Very simple, with the if statement. So if is converted, then we know that we can print x normally. Else we know that the conversion failed. So now let's run this program and see what it does. So ABC, if fail, if I try to convert 1, 2, 3, it converts just fine. And if I try to convert 0, now I get 0. So the point of checking is that now, regardless of whatever the input you have here, if it's a valid or invalid, you will always have something you can trust. Remember, before, when you have ABC here, you'd return 0, and if you have 0, you will return 0 too. So that's a very important thing to note. So let's review what we have here. So we declare a string and we declare an integer. And remember, we did not initialize the integer because we did not want to miss the 0. And then you declare a boolean, and this boolean is what you're going to use on the return type here of your TryParse, and then an if statement to make sure you convert it or not. So now, can you write this code shorter? Yes, we can write this code even shorter. We can delete this, and we can put this entire thing right here on the if statement. And now the true or false gets placed directly into the if statement. So let's run this again. So 0, because you enter 0. If you put ABC, you get fail, and if you put a number, it works just fine. And that's all.